At this time, I would like to introduce to you the state of Florida, Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nuñez. Give her a round of applause, please.
Well, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Excellent, excellent. You've had lunch, I assume, so hopefully I won't put you to sleep, but it truly is an honor to be here and so excited to be at our great expo, our Veterans Florida Expo. As you all know, Veterans Florida's mission is very simple. That is to help military veterans transition into civilian life and also to continue to promote Florida as the nation's #1 veteran-friendly state in the country. That's something that Governor DeSantis and I are very proud of, and we want to continue pushing Florida to new heights. Since 2016, Veterans Florida has invested millions of dollars to help state employers attract and retain veterans that are eager to join the workforce. And so we have, I know, many veterans with us here today, and of course, we thank each and every one of them. But I do want to highlight one in particular, Nikki Bateman, who is here with us today. Where is Nikki? Right here, right in front. So I just wanted to share, if it's okay, hate to put you on the spot, but would love to share your story. Nikki left the Army as an intelligence analyst and, like many veterans, had a great idea to start her own business. And so with support from Veterans Florida, she completed an entrepreneur traineeship program that allowed her to put her idea into place. And so she started to build her business, which is Match My Place. And it's designated to market homes to the public while maintaining individual privacy, designed for first responders, elected officials, and others who value and need privacy in the early stages of buying or selling their home. Nikki has more than 1,000 real estate agents on board. And it's my understanding that after a year of beta testing, it's almost ready to go live. And so we're really excited. And congratulations, Nikki, on a wonderful idea. So a round of applause for Nikki. So I think everyone here joins us in wishing her well and hopeful that next year, perhaps, she will be here sharing her successes and being able to pay it forward as so many of you like to do and really allowing other veterans to pursue their version of the American dream. So for Governor DeSantis, a veteran himself, a Navy guy. I don't know if there's any Navy folks. Okay. All right. I always get mixed reviews depending on who's in the crowd, but we love all of our military branches. He also is focused and has been since day one on finding ways to prioritize resources and assistance, not only to serve and honor those that have served us, but to make sure that they are viewing Florida as an important partner in that transition to civilian life. And so we continue to look for ways to support our veterans in our quest to further their careers after service. And by providing the resources and the tools that are here distributed and displayed today, we want to make sure that we continue to invest not only in your future, but also in our state's future, because the two do go hand in hand. So the transition from military to civilian life, I think, is as daunting as it can be. It really starts with one thing, and that is jobs. And that's something that, again, Veterans Florida is so key in assisting with. And so after years of service in the military, it's critical to ensure that veterans can have the tools and resources to set them up into civilian career paths. And so our administration, as I mentioned, has really prioritized ways to elevate that. And we look to make Florida the #1 state in education workforce by the year 2030. And we've invested millions of dollars to do so. And we're well on our way to accomplishing that goal. And we believe firmly that veterans are an essential part to the solution, making sure that they have a pathway, making sure that they have opportunities, because that, again, goes hand in hand and allows Florida and our businesses to thrive. And so what we have seen in our veterans is, as we know here, they're dedicated, they're passionate, they're committed to fulfilling their assignment, their mission. And so this is just a great partnership and one that we're both really excited about. I have the privilege of serving as the chair of both the Cybersecurity Advisory Council as well as Space Florida Board of Directors. And what I can tell you with certainty is that our expansion of our footprint in both the cyber and the space industries is teeming with opportunity for our veterans. We need a robust workforce to be able to support those sectors that are growing at a frenetic pace. Earlier today, I was over on the Space Coast, and we had a ribbon cutting rather, in which we had one of our bridges that we've invested in our infrastructure. And we've seen so much growth in that region, but really space and cyber have no boundaries, have no limits. From Key West to Pensacola, there are opportunities in those two sectors. And what we've seen globally is a shortage of cybersecurity positions to the tune of 2.7 million opportunities. And right here in Florida, we have vacancies in over 25,000 cyber jobs. Those positions, we feel confident, are ripe for opportunity for veterans because of the professional development pathways. What we've seen is that we've laid the groundwork, Governor DeSantis and I, to be able to offer those opportunities. We've made several announcements in the past several months in which we've dedicated over $15.6 million to expand our cybersecurity and IT training through a joint venture between the Department of Education and Florida Center for Cybersecurity. And these investments also help expand curriculum and develop important cybersecurity and IT pathways. It's estimated that cybersecurity employment growth will be around 31% over the next few years, with annual average median wages at approximately $104,000. So high wage, high tech jobs, ripe for opportunity for our veterans right here in the state of Florida. And it doesn't stop there, because Florida obviously is dedicated to becoming the premier aerospace hub. We know Florida is the launch capital of the world. This year, we're on pace to have approximately 100 launches. Don't know if there's any space nerds in the audience. My show of hands. Anyone excited about Space Force? Well, what I'll tell you is it's more than just rockets and launches, as cool as that is. We are excited that we're the launch capital of the world, but we see a future in which Florida really is a hub, not only for rockets and launches, but also for manufacturing, for training and technology, for military defense. And so you don't need to be a rocket scientist or an engineer. We have quite a few professional opportunities that run the gamut. So in addition to the high tech, high wage, we also have identified our biggest needs in the industry, and all of our corporate partners said the same thing. Our biggest needs are machinists, electricians, welders, so many other alternative industry professional pathways that we look for people to fill those roles, and we can't fill them fast enough. And so we've worked very closely with the private sector, and in many cases, government likes to tell the private sector what they need. Well, in this case, we're listening to the private sector, and we're asking them, what are the types of industry, professional industry developments that you need? What are the things that we can provide, both from an education standpoint and then helping with the pipeline for our employment opportunities? And so we've heard the private sector loud and clear. And so as a result, the governor made sure to expand opportunities in various state colleges throughout the state. Last week, I don't know if any of you were paying attention, the Air Force announced that they will be locating the STARCOM headquarters for Space Force right here in Florida. So another great announcement we're really excited about. And in addition, we're going to have the Delta 10, which is going to focus on wargaming doctrine, modeling, simulation, in partnership with so many educational institutions and really the private sector that's growing at leaps and bounds on the commercial side. So we look forward to continuing to push forward in that field. But also what we've seen is that there's a desire, there's a need for clearance. So many of our veterans have access to clearance. That is just a tremendous advantage that we're seeing, and something that, again, the private sector has told us. It takes too long to get clearance. We need people that have clearance right away. We could hire them on the spot if they had clearance. And so we're looking at unique partnerships. We're looking at pilot programs to be able to find ways to assist with those that don't have clearance, but also to bolster and prop up those that do for unique opportunities. So we are eager to grow our workforce in those two industries. But what I'll say is that we continue to find ways to support our veterans in other areas. In June 2022, Florida launched our Hometown Heroes housing program. And so that helps eligible active duty or veterans to obtain first-time home buyers closing cost assistance, down payment, And to date, we've been able to supply over 3,100 homeowners with first-time payment assistance, which is really exciting because I think nothing reverberates the American dream more than owning your own home and owning your own business. So the state of Florida is really excited about that program this year. They upped the ante, so to speak. And so again, really great resources that we have here in the state of Florida that Governor DeSantis and I are proud of. In addition, we're looking for other innovative pathways. And so for those of you that perhaps have a passion for teaching and for educating, we created a pathway in which you can become certified to be a teacher. To date, we've had more than 500 veterans pursue the educational pathway to be able to use their skills, their expertise, and bring it to the classroom. We know there's a teacher shortage. We know that our students deserve the best and brightest, and I can think of no one better equipped to mold our children than our veteran community. All of this to say that we continue to look for ways to support and to supply opportunities. Another thing, we cannot forget our military families, because it's not just the person that's serving at that moment, it's the families, it's the spouses, it's the children. And so what we've done is we've required the Department of Business and Professional Regulation to expedite licensing, to make sure that spouses of active duty military can have those licenses supplied to them in an expeditious manner. In addition, looking to allow the transition for students, for your children when they can transition to a new school, providing the support through an interstate compact on educational opportunity for our military children. And so that actually ensures a smooth transition, everything from records transfers to seamless school placement, enrollment, and things that you don't really think about, but when you're going through it, it does become an undue burden. So as we look, again, for opportunities to work with our military, our veterans, two pieces of legislation I want to highlight this year. Governor DeSantis signed Senate Bill 274, which creates the nurse education pathway for our military combat medics. This gives them the opportunity to post those credits to be able to combat medics that would qualify. And then lastly, House Bill 139, which establishes the Office of Veterans Licensure within the Department of Health. So this will allow the Department of Health to expedite, again, those licenses through their umbrella in which they license and they regulate certain industries and pathways, because we know that healthcare is a burgeoning field and so many veterans want to go that route. So we want to make sure that the Department of Health is not being a hindrance, it's not being bureaucratic red tape, that they're helping them get through that process in an efficient manner. So again, I really am just honored to be here and to be able to speak with you on some of the highlights and some of the things that we in the state of Florida have done to support our veterans, to make sure that they have what they need in terms of resources. Veterans Florida does such a great job, and we want to continue to partner with them and make sure that we're investing in the right resources and that we're listening to you to understand what the needs are. And we're adapting quickly where we need to, and that we're continuing to further some of those investments that we've already made. So to our veterans in attendance, thank you again for your service and your sacrifice to our state and our nation. We pray that you will enjoy the rest of your time here. And may God bless each one of you, and may God bless the state of Florida and the United States of America. Thank you all so very much.